All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome into today's edition of In the Game. I am your host, Hustle, and Bitcoin touched 50K today. Gaming altcoins are absolutely crushing it. We're going to go over what's hot in the market, reasons why certain coins and projects are leading the charge, as well as some key updates across some of our favorite positions, some things that are coming out over the next week that you need to keep your eyes on that could do numbers just like we've just seen. IMX, Heroes of Mavia, Beam, some of these top projects are putting in crazy gains at the moment in time. We have another one launching next week that could do just the same. We're going to go over all of the updates in the market and more, as well as some coins I still think are undervalued in this market. So without further ado, let's get in the game. And guys, be sure to drop down, hit that like button, and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. We're trying to hit 100K subs before the end of March. We need your help. Spread the word. Tell people where you're getting the alpha right here on the In the Game channel. And a quick shout out to our sponsors here on In the Game. We have some amazing sponsors here on the channel. We have Vulcan Forged, Ultra, Redato, Dreams Quest, Game Starter, NordVPN, Uncaged, and 96.com. And I have to say, shout out to 96.com, our official 𝗙𝗏𝘆𝗽 sponsor, as we hit our Super Bowl bets, both of them, by the way, Chiefs and Travis Kelce over. So shout out to anyone who took those bets from the Friday show. And we had an awesome NFL season, actually, on all the shows we did here. I think we went like 6-1 on our picks. So not too shabby as far as, starting off the 𝗙𝗏𝘆𝗽 side of the show. But let's jump into the market where everyone is focused at this moment in time. And I mean, crypto gaming is on the rise at this moment in time. We see daily volume on stuff like Immutable at 260 million, daily volume on Heroes of Mavia at 130 million. So we're seeing the liquidity come through the market here. And like I said earlier today, Bitcoin had touched that 100, or not 100, the 50K mark here. I wish we were at 100K, but we did hit that 50K mark here. We're kind of a little down from that at the point of this recording. But I mean, the crypto markets are alive and well. And this just lines up with our thesis of the ETF. The sell news was just nothing but a bunch of garbage. Anyone who bought during that time period absolutely is making out like a bandit right now, as alts did get punished, but most of them are now hovering back or higher than they were even when the market was kind of at its peak around like November. December for these gaming altcoins. So it's been awesome to see. And not to mention, we have Capo coming through saying he's short-term. He was bullish from 40K to 50K. He thinks we're going to see a rejection on 50K while alts keep pumping. But if alts keep pumping, that is good for our gaming bags, right? And we called this on the show over a week ago that Heroes of Mavia was going to start a gaming run. And that was the project to do it. And it was pretty easy to see it unfold. And I have to say, narrative trading in crypto and gaming specifically, there's not much easier than hyped game launches, new token, game's good, people are playing, people are talking about it. You trade the social sentiment. Even if you bought when this thing hit the open market, you're still up over 2x at this point in time. And then we had Off the Grid, obviously, announce Xbox, which really kind of set things on fire as far as this narrative. And I mean, at 50K Bitcoin, gaming coins going crazy. The madness has not even begun yet, guys. Like, retail isn't here. We're not at new all-time highs. New all-time highs is when things get just insane in this industry. So it's a fun time to be involved. It's a fun time to be invested. And I agree with what Becker says here. If you've bought crypto in the last year, you have two jobs. Don't sell and post extremely immature things on Twitter. That's it. That's the game. Play it well. So let's just take a look at this market that we're talking about, right? I mean, this market is going absolutely crazy for a lot of these gaming coins. Obviously, the elephant in the room, Heroes of Mavia. Let's take a look at the monthly chart here. This thing's gone from 283 all the way up to where it is currently at this $8.30 level. The fully diluted is about 2 billion. And if this thing continues its momentum, I mean, this could be one of the biggest crypto gaming coins and most successful crypto gaming launches of this cycle. And I don't like, they're not going to fumble it in the short term. I mean, this team is so focused on delivering. If we take a look here, they're just starting their acquisition campaigns on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. On Nexus here, we see there's a ton of reviews flowing, and it has an 8 out of 10, which for a Web3 game, that's pretty impressive in my honest opinion. So this one's been leading the charge and is really the reason why we've seen this gaming market doing what it's doing at this moment in time. And then we kind of see here, we have Uncaged, which has done really well since they announced their revamp. We have Dubs. Shout out to Dubs. This is one of our positions we've been calling for during this time period. If we look at the monthly here, this thing got beat up, and let's just go to the year because this thing ran hard, got all the way up to 650, even higher than that, actually. It crossed $7. It got all the way back down here to 279. Now this thing's pumping back up to 460. So shout out to anyone who bought up that dip. And then we see the high quality stuff like Beam is up 65% this week. For a token of its size, that's pretty astronomical as far as a 1 week gain. We have Superverse. Shout out to Leo and the Superverse team. A lot of stuff going on over there with Superverse. It's up 58% this week. We have Shrapnel rebounding very nicely. Shout out to everyone who held Shrapnel. There was a lot of FUD. There was a lot of people in our comment section here. What's happening to Shrapnel? The fear was crazy, but now it's back over double our entry point. We got in at 13 cents. And we held it down to 21, and now it's back at 28 cents. So that's been a nice position. BoxBet, we're going to go over some updates on these projects in a second, but just looking at this market, BoxBet is up 269% since we called it here on the channel, up 55% this week. It's hitting new all-time highs. We have Immutable over $3. So a lot of these things happening at one time. And let's just go, we see Immutable, Pixelmon's coming to Immutable X, which is, in my opinion, very bullish to their Immutable ZK EVM powered by Polygon. So Pixelmon's made a big time turnaround, and Immutable, one of the hottest tokens in the market, one of the most, I would say, high quality gaming, studios, blockchains, whatever you want to call IMX. I mean, they're up 45% this month, and they're not showing any signs of slowing down. And if you actually go look at the overall token market here, Immutable is number 21 by market cap in crypto right now. That's incredible. Like, we have a strictly gaming blockchain that's about to crack into the top 20. And honestly, it's going to flip DAI. It's going to flip Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash. It'll flip Shiba, ICP. In my opinion, it could settle right around 15. And who knows, this thing could go into the top 10 if it does continue to get that effect, that network effect, more games coming, more activity on the chain, etc. Like, IMX is really paving their way to be the top gaming blockchain by sentiment. I think Ronin is that gaming blockchain right now, but we'll see that in the future. We have Playable Games, one of our favorite projects. I still think it's pretty cheap at that $23 million market cap. They're doing a promotion with CoinMarketCap in a week from today, where they're going to launch a bull coin airdrop to 10,000 winners for a share of 20 million bull. So that's in affiliation with CoinMarketCap. Be sure to check that out. Another one, we haven't talked about the token in a while because our entry point was so good here. We were DCAing Vulcan Forged $2.50, $3 throughout the bear market, and now it's at about $6.50. The development of this ecosystem, I couldn't be happier with what's happened with this ecosystem at the time period that, we're recording this. The amount of development that Jamie and the team here at Vulcan have pushed forward with, Vulcan Studios. They have all these different games now inside the ecosystem. They have the App Store, Google Play, Oculus, MetaQuest. They have all these different bridges for their Elysium chain. It's just really, really impressive to see all of this happening at one time for a project like Vulcan, one that, we had such high conviction in. And I'm very happy that conviction was unwavering because, Vulcan is showing they are still one of the top gaming studios in the space. Quietly but surely, they have been climbing in the charts, which has been awesome to see. We have Winner, another position in the 𝗙𝗡𝘆𝗽 space. This one's been adding new utility and partners. One of their many expansions of the Winner protocol is on its entire new tech stack on a new EVM. The horizontal expansion begins. And let's find Winner here on the watch list. Here we go. This one got hit hard. I mean, let's look at this monthly chart. 11 cents all the way down to like 6.5. And now it's rebounded quite nicely over this last week and really like over the last couple of days. So shout out to Winner Protocol. And then as mentioned, BoxBet. What is the reason for this huge spike in price action today? Well, they successfully bought back 0.46% of BoxBet tokens. And they're doing this every month. They're doing buybacks and burns until 75% of this token supply is gone. I can't think of a more bullish metric to go forward than that for a project. So, as far as things that I'm, very bullish on, things we've taken positions on, those are some of the updates across, Mavia, Immutable, Playable, Vulcan, Winner, BoxBet, etc. But I know you guys are DGens, and I know you guys are here to see what tokens haven't run, right? So we look at the 24-hour. I still like Magnum Trading. I think that it's a really good sniper bot, but it's just not in the gaming niche. But that's one I'm on the lookout for. Cap Games with Captain and Company. Their game is live. You can jump in. You can start playing. You can start just adventuring, really is a better word than playing with the way that their ecosystem is. But I think Cap Games is a strong one that's pretty under the radar. As we see here, 62 million fully diluted. It's about an 8 million circulating market cap. This one's just not getting the sentiment in the market right now, but I think it could come back around and Cap Games could definitely be a good play at this point in time. I think based anything below 20 million market cap, I think is just a steal. I think this will be 100 million market cap in the next cycle without a doubt. That's one I'm really bullish on. Probably one of my favorite 𝗙𝗿𝘆𝗽 projects as far as investments go. Currently, I just think it without a doubt is going to be one of the most successful crypto casinos in this cycle. Otherwise, I'm looking at stuff. Echelon Prime, it's up quite a bit this week. So this one's nearing that $10 mark. And we're looking forward to Parallel Colony. It's up 20% this week. So even though it's down on the day, I wouldn't still consider this like a cheap buy at this point in time. I think Honeyland's a fantastic buy at these levels. I think Kaneko is a great one as well. Which is another 𝗙𝗿𝘆𝗽 project that we really like here in the game. So I think Honeyland, Kaneko. I'd be looking at Ultra and GameSwift as well, maybe even Games for a Living. These are ones that just haven't moved that much. And when I'm looking across the market currently, I don't want to buy the stuff that is all the way, let's look at the 30-day charts. I don't want to buy these triple digit movers right now. You know what I mean? That's just not what I'm looking to do. And we have Domi at 55, Beam at 57% this month. A lot of quality projects just putting in crazy gains over the month. And, I want to filter it to the low. I want to go see what's getting beat up this month so I can accumulate those. When the market comes around to those tokens, that's going to be some of the biggest winners. I'm looking at Mixmob, Ultra. Like I said, I still think Winner Protocol is a great buy. I think Kaneko, I think Honeyland, Compete, Ultra. These are ones, Game Starter for sure. Shout out to Game Starter, one of our sponsors here. I think Virtue Poker is still pretty cheap at this point in time, 5.6 million market cap. Root Network with the Ready Player One. So bottom line, there's a lot of tokens out there right now, guys, that are still very undervalued. And this is not the time period where I'm coming into the show and I'm going to be like, this is what I'm buying this, I'm buying that. It's the time to load your bags. No, this is the time. We laid out the game plan here on this show during the down times. We also rode it all the way up in November. We took lots of profits out of the market. We positioned ourselves to buy the dips whenever those altcoin dips came through the door. And we told you that the Bitcoin ETF was bullish despite the sell-off. And heading into the halving, what are we seeing? We're now seeing that appreciation in these coins again. We're seeing Bitcoin right around 50K. This is the time to watch those fruits harvest, not necessarily get into new positions. But if there's a new position that I'm looking forward to in this next week, it could potentially be the Pixels Online token. So Pixel currently in perps on the Binance exchange in pre-trading is at 37 cents, which would make it about an FDV of 1.85 billion. What does this remind us of? Well, let's go take a look. We see Heroes of Mavia, one of the hottest games in the space, 2 billion market cap. So as we see, if you're unaware, Pixels is the biggest game on Ronin currently. They have a huge player base. They had a big play to airdrop campaign on the Ronin chain, which, you know, is the Axie Infinity chain. This is going to do really well whenever it launches, but it is a matter of where it launches. Like, I think that this could do something similar to Heroes of Mavia, but I am personally just hoping it doesn't launch at this valuation, because then the upside's probably a bit capped versus something that launched at like an 800 million market cap with Heroes of Mavia, and now it's moved up to a 2 billion. So we'll have to watch and see what this token looks to launch at, but that's when I'm definitely gearing up and going to have my eyes on. A few other things to look out for this week: the world's first Ethereum ISPO. So Dega, an SDK infrastructure project I've been a big fan of. We talked about their Cardano ISPO. We talked about the Polkadot ISPO, but they now have the stake pool open. You can stake Ethereum and you can get pre-market tokens for the Dega token. I have a lot of alpha on this one as the time goes on, but if you have some Ethereum laying around you're willing to stake, I would definitely jump into this ISPO and you get pre-market token. It's like getting into a seed round for this project, if you take a look at it that way. And then last week I talked about Easy. Their mainnet launch is right around the corner. And if you look here, there's a lot of familiar names. Aether Games we're very bullish on. You have ApeCoin, Polygon Labs, lots of different partners that they are working with. And this is one that I think is going to do really, really well whenever this launches. And I want to give a quick shout out to a couple sponsors here on In the Game. Obviously, we shouted out 96.com earlier. And I think that 96.com, if you haven't already, sign up for an account down below. There is a deposit bonus if you do get involved. But so for some of our other sponsors, and we also chatted about Vulcan Forge earlier in the show, we're thrilled to announce our latest collab with Revolving Games. This is Game Starter. Revolving Games had a huge whitelist mint coming up. And, honestly, I'm super stoked. I'm trying to get my community involved in this, and Game Starter continues to bring more and more value and, high quality launches to their community. And at the market cap that it's at, let me go back here and let me find Game Starter, because this one's definitely not running at this point in time. Yeah, 6.5 million market cap. I think that this is a really, really good position to take at this point in time. So I'm definitely bullish. I know you're coming in here for the latest buys. You want, the front run on the coins that I talk about, etc. But right now, like, I'm letting my positions flourish and materialize. And that's what a good trader is going to do. And honestly, when influencers are like pushing you to continue buying when the market is surging like this, it's funny because like the comment section will say, Hustle says to buy, but it was when the market was sideways. Of course, that's when I'm buying. I'm not going to buy when it's absolutely ripping in price. That's not the time to buy. You should have already had your positions in. So I tell you to buy when the market's boring. I don't tell you to buy whenever the market's pumping. So I just want to make that very, very clear. And that's how we're going to play it. I want you guys to stay safe. I want you guys to protect your downside. I want you guys to get into quality positions when nobody else has the balls to, for lack of a better word. And then whenever it rides up, we're going to be scaling profits out of this market, and we're going to be watching our bags flourish while other people are FOMOing into the market. Retail isn't even here yet. So if you're here, you're way ahead of the normies, of the retail traders. And I can't wait to see, whenever this halving happens and we head into the next cycle, exactly what's in store for our crypto gaming positions. So without further ado, I'm going to hop out of here. Like the video and subscribe. Let me know if there's any coins you are accumulating in this market. I like Game Starter. I like Cap Games. I like Ultra. I like Winner, still very cheap. There's a couple others on the watch list that we talked about in the show, but those are just a short list of the ones that I'm looking at that could get that liquidity. I'm out of here till the next show. As always, play well, my friends.